Today, we have a special podcast for you guys. We don't actually have a name for it, so let's just call it No Name Podcast for today. I'm your host, What's a Follower. We have three other special guests for you today, two of which are my co-hosts. Let's go ahead and talk to our co-hosts. What's up, Sean? Sean, tell us, this time I want to hear your catchphrase. We didn't hear it last time. You're really, kind of being reserved. Didn't want to say any stories. Didn't want to say your catchphrase. So we have to hear it today. So what is your catchphrase? Go ahead. You always say it.
I don't know how to count.
Dude, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Dude, you could probably sell that for like $1 million or something.
1, 2, skip a few.
Yeah. Okay, and that's where the joke lands. Okay, that's great. All right. Next up, we have Poopy Wes. Wes, you were with us last time. What's your catchphrase again?
Yeah.
Dude, I love that one. I love that one. And then we have our guest with us today. He's the special one. He is Adam. Go ahead and say your catchphrase for us.
Catchphrase. All right, let's see.
That's it, dude. That is that's amazing. I love that one. I love it. The first time I heard that on the TV, I'm like, dude, that's it. It sells. How many copies have you sold of that so far?
About 20 million.
Dude, that's crazy. Yeah. Good for you. Get that bag, dude. Get that bag. All right, guys. So we have a very special podcast. We're going to go ahead and go over the headlines. Okay, but before we get into that, we have to talk about today's sponsor. That is, of course, Amazon affiliates. So if you like the setup I'm using, which you probably don't like the video quality, we'll get to that later. I'm using a Rode Podmic. I'm using the interface, all sorts of stuff. That's all in the link in the description below. If you click that link and buy something, that'll give us a little cut of the change. So be sure to check those out. Now, we have the most important thing, which is reviewing the headlines. So let's go ahead and go and talk about headline 1. So, headline 1, we're talking about the Dolby Atmos and Dolby Vision may be exclusive to Xbox for 2 years. What do you guys think about that?
That's pretty exciting.
Pretty exciting?
Whenever I first got, these are the Astro A40s, and whenever I first got them, they came with like Dolby Atmos built in, and like I installed the drivers or whatever, and the first time I listened to it, I could like definitely hear like a definitive difference.
Cool.
It was great. I'm excited. Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool like little boost for them.
Mm-hmm. Wes, anything from you? Are you a audio fanatic?
Well, as much as I like seeing stuff getting better, I don't like exclusivity deals. I do not care for that at all.
Mm-hmm. And then Adam, are you an audio fanatic?
In terms of Dolby Atmos, the only really experience I have, I used to work in a movie theater, and I know that Dolby Atmos, they got the hookups with movie theaters, and, movie theaters are known for supposed to be, have good surround sound and stuff. But yeah, exclusivity, especially with something like that, like, audio, it just doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, but I'm sure there's a lot of alternatives,
For sure, man. So, next up, we have E3 is kicking off. So, we have a big reveal of Battlefield 6. So, again, we talked about that last time. Battlefield 6, big game coming out. We watched the little kind of trailer. You could say that. But now we're really talking about E3. It's happening on the 9th. So, that's in 8 days. So, how do you guys feel about Battlefield 6? How do you guys feel about E3?
Battlefield 6, I'm gonna be excited. It'll be cool. I'm excited for E3. I'll be watching it. Could be cool.
Epic, dude. Good one. All right, what about you, Wes?
Well, I mean, it looks like it's gonna be cool. I'm gonna reserve my thoughts more until we see an actual trailer. We know that the last trailer wasn't great.
Yeah.
E3 is. I mean, I feel like we're going to see some cool stuff this year. I always love seeing Devolver Digital stuff. They always have really cool... I think they had like a game on Steam that was like... Because COVID obviously canceled the E3 before.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oof,
Look forward to it.
Yeah, rip E3. And then Adam, any takes on E3?
Um, you know, I'm usually kind of the one where, I'll just open YouTube one day and I'll see all the, IGN and everywhere is posting all the E3 trailers that came out. That's usually where I get my E3 content
Hmm.
and just kind of, play the game afterwards, catch up on the news. But I'll definitely be tuning in to check out this Battlefield reveal trailer for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure, for sure. So with me, E3 again, it's one of those things to where I'm either gonna really like it this year because all the new games that they couldn't put out last year for whatever reason. So this year, I think it's gonna be really critical for E3. I feel like if they don't get this one together, then it's gonna be kind of like a downward slope for the rest of it. So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so hopefully they don't disappoint. Next up, we have Unreal Engine 5. What do you guys feel about the Unreal Engine 5? Adam, have you uh,
Uh,
have you played any recent games with Unreal Engine 5?
You know, I can't really say that I have, but I know Unreal Engine.
Mm.
I mean, going back to Battlefield, Battlefield used Unreal Engine 4, and that's one of the best looking first person shooters in my opinion. So to take that to a next level, especially with the new gen consoles coming out, I'm definitely looking forward to see what kind of cool games,
Yeah,
come out of it. So.
for sure. All right. What about you, Sean? I know again you're a big Battlefield guy. What do you think Unreal Engine 5 means?
Well, from what I saw at their like showcase trailer, it looks really cool what they're doing with like the new technology that's coming out. My favorite part about the entire trailer was just how like easy it seemed to implement these huge ideas. Like for example, they had kind of like a desert wasteland, and then they changed it to a dark world, and the entire scenery changes, becomes like a dark purplish environment. You have like kind of like these wind gusts throwing dust across your screen, and your character gets a new ability that's like this weird dark matter. And just to see it all, like the way that it looked in 4K was so nice. Like it was really impressive, and to see where games have come from since I've just been a kid is insane to me. Like it just makes me think like, wait until we're all like 50, 60, so on and so forth. And these games are coming out, and I think we may get to a point where you can't dictate a game from reality. I mean,
Sure.
it looks very exciting, very cool.
Mm-hmm. Wes,
Kind of already looks that way.
Oh.
I mean, as you can see behind me,
Oh, epic
I grew
gamer.
up with Super Nintendo, so to see textures this insane, yeah, I'm very excited to see what Unreal Engine 5 will do.
Yeah, for sure. Again, we'll get into that later. We'll show some of those pictures. I think it's kind of crazy of just like the development of future games. I know we mentioned before, we're just talking amongst ourselves, of if this comes out, all the extra gigabytes of storage we'll have to have now on all of our consoles, on our PCs. If you thought the Call of Duty Warzone 300 gigabyte thing that's caking up now is crazy, I think Unreal Engine 5 is just going to add to that. So I guess you'll see when it gets there, and then we can talk about that as we get to it. So next headline number 6 for those keeping track. I know everybody's counting, adding him up, and like Sean said, that's his catchphrase, is always counting, making sure he's on top with the
I can't
headline.
count. I
Always
cannot
counting, always counting, doing your
I
math.
try, but I can't.
Doing your math. All right.
That's the thing.
Headline number 5. Okay,
54.
this is an interesting one. Okay, so Xbox and PlayStation 5 scalpers. It may not be the only reason why you're not getting your console that you want. So, are we still getting consoles? Do you guys still looking for that, or you guys moved to PC? Wes, what do you think? What are you on?
I am on a computer right now,
Mhm.
but
Whoa.
I do love my computer. I would love to get my hands on a PS5 with Ratchet and Clank coming out. Oof, I would love to, but scalpers and
Yeah,
such.
just
Yeah,
not doable in this moment. Dang it,
it's
dude.
not doable. I'm not a rich person.
What about you, Sean?
Uh, yeah. I mean, I would like to get the Xbox Series X ideally, but with the price of it, and also with the fact that you don't have to get it to experience all the games coming out,
Mm-hmm.
makes me question why don't I just upgrade my PC at this point, you know?
Right.
I've always had an
Good luck
Xbox,
upgrading
and
it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's the tough part is upgrading your PC. Sometimes you gotta get a whole new PC, but you know, with the Xbox, it's also you can lay down on your bed. That's something that with a PC, of course, you can do if you're playing with a controller or something, but or if you like put the keyboard on your lap. There's ways to get around it, but the most comfortable way that I enjoy playing is with a controller, laying in my bed sometimes because you've just had a long day. So that's what encourages me to get the Xbox again is just to have a more relaxed, casual way of playing games, and then I have my PC where I'm sitting up in my chair and I can actually try.
Yeah, we all been there to where you have your hand out, you have your dick out, just jerking it to Tomb Raider. Okay, Adam, what do you think about that?
What?
What do you think
Uh,
about that, Adam?
I think, well, personally, since I just recently, I say recently, made a change to PC gaming,
Nice.
after being a, console gamer for my whole life, basically. But so I can say right now, I'm pretty comfortable just having the all-in-one PC, I can
Mhm.
just switch tabs and I can just start doing something else, like without having to, have a separate system for that.
Gotta get
Mm-hmm.
And
that second monitor.
I'm I'm just chilling. I do have to I have to look into that, yeah, for sure.
Very
So
fancy, very fancy. Yeah, just like Adam, I've recently switched over too, and the switch has been pretty easy. Um, it's the whole thing, like Sean was saying, of not being able to sit on your couch and do it. I guess it depends on your setup because you could technically do that. Just have your keyboard and mouse in bed, just casually hanging out.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, yeah. Again, we'll get into that, but it's I'm very on the edge if I'm going to get it. I may just wait till they come out with the Slim edition or whenever they bundle it together.
Or
Um,
Pro Edition.
yeah, maybe they'll make more of those. Who knows? But on
So,
to
real quick, can
whoa,
we, before we go on to, I'd actually like to go back to, you
Oh,
said something about Tomb Raider and you had something out and in your hand.
yeah,
What was that about?
I
What that was
yeah, no
you
big
need to
deal.
talk to us about that.
Yeah, yeah,
Is
no,
that
no problem. So, Tomb Raider is actually a really interesting game. You get Laura Croft.
all right,
She's
guys?
the
So
main
on to the
protagonist.
next
What about
subject. Here we
farming
go.
axes?
Yeah, yeah.
Axes, John.
All right, wrecked. So we have one last headline before the private headline. We're not going to discuss the private headline because it's really secret. So before we get to the private headline, NVIDIA revealed the TI versions of the 380 and the 370 and their prices. So this is very, very interesting. I have a 370, a basic 370. So this is going to be very curious if I should have just waited. So what do you guys think? So Wes, what do you think about the pricing?
I think you're lucky to have what you got, bud.
Yep.
I think I wish I had that.
Mm-hmm.
2060 Super. I mean, for the prices that they released with what's going on in computing right now,
Yeah.
yeah, awesome, amazing. I would love that, but good luck finding anything at MSRP.
Yep. And then even paying MSRP is just like, oh, just upgrading that is insane.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Adam, what do you feel about the new TI versions and their pricing?
Well, honestly, I'm looking here and it says the 3070 Ti is gonna, if you can get your hands on
Yep.
one, you could get it for around 600. And,
Mm-hmm.
as the new wave of graphics cards go and a TI version, I really don't think that's too bad,
Right.
you know? So I definitely won't be getting one until I definitely need to upgrade.
Yeah.
But, for those looking to get into it, I think that could be a good option to set you up.
For sure, yeah. If you're starting fresh, that makes a lot of sense. Like I got a
Yeah.
pre-built, and that was the only way I was able to get that 3070. So without paying, $300 over MSRP, or some people's paying an extra 500. So without getting into that, that's the only way I was able to get this. So, all right, Poopy Head Sean, what is
Yeah.
your final take on the pricing of the 3080 Ti and the 37 Ti?
I mean, I think they're fair because they're brand new, but yeah, I don't know. I'm the type of person I'll probably wait until the newer one comes out and then buy that one because it'll then be cheaper. But I
Way
mean,
to do it.
like what Caleb was saying, definitely I feel like if you're looking to get a PC and get into this stuff, you should probably just aim for something like that. And just dump the money in ahead of time, and you're going to be set for the next 5-6 years. So
For sure, for sure. Yeah, so as for the secret headline, this one's actually very spicy. One of us here knows a lot about the subject, and the rest of us kind of don't care about the subject anymore. So this one's going to be very spicy if we get to it. If we don't get to it, it's you guys' loss, okay? So, starting all the way back to the beginning, we have the BF6 reveal. But before we get into that, we're going to have a little story time session. So, anybody have any interesting stories from this week? Anything eventful? Anything impactful? Sean would say counting numbers. That's pretty impactful for him. That's probably the highest he's ever been this week. So,
yeah.
starting with Sean, how was your week?
Ooh. In one word, barbecue.
Ooh, I'm kind of interested on the barbecue. Do you mind?
No.
Do you mind explaining that barbecue? I wonder why. I wonder why barbecue is real interesting.
Well, one of the ways that I bring in money is I work at a barbecue place. And it was Memorial Day yesterday, so as you can imagine, my week has started off with a pretty rough start, considering that everyone wants barbecue on Memorial Day. As you can hear, Wesley also works there, and he's
Yeah, I'm
feeling that same
commiserating.
thing too. Yeah, so. But yeah, that our week was in a sense barbecue.
He actually passed the baton to me yesterday when he
Yes.
left.
Ooh.
So nice of him.
I bet you that was interesting. So, Wes, was that also your most interesting point of your week? I can imagine it probably was.
Well, that, and then I came home and watched the new Bo Burnham special, which is hilarious
Hey.
and soul crushing. So
Yeah, how
you
was
should
that?
watch
What?
that.
Yeah, I saw it. I
Uh,
saw it on Netflix. I'm like, dude, I'm like a half a click away from clicking on it, but I ended up doom scrolling on Reddit. So
yeah, yeah, I can relate to that. He was basically filming himself while he was inside for the quarantine for like a year and
Oh my God.
various
no way.
sketches by himself. Yeah, it literally takes place in one room, and just the way he uses lighting, and I don't know, his voice is much better than it used to be if you've ever like paid attention to his comedy before, and I think it's well worth watching. It's a lot
Sweet.
of self-reflection.
Recommendations from Wes. Epic. I'll definitely have to look into that. And what's the title of it?
Inside, I think.
Inside.
I don't know.
Okay.
It should be everywhere.
Okay.
all
It
over
should be
Netflix.
everywhere. Let me write that down. It should be everywhere.
I mean, if you open up Netflix,
If you open up Netflix, guys, again,
it'll be everywhere.
It's on Netflix.com. Okay, go log in, use your mom's password, as Sean mentioned before, and find that Netflix special and say
It was
thank
Amazon
you to
Prime.
us. Yeah, yeah, Amazon Prime, epic. So, Adam, what was your special story from this week? Did you do
My
anything
special
interesting?
story. Well, I had a chance encounter with a very stinky person that may also happen to be listening right now. Poopy
Oh.
Head Sean.
Oh.
So
Oh no.
Oh no,
yeah,
not him. He smells awful.
yeah.
Oh, the
But I
stinky
actually was driving in, near the area, this barbecue place where Sean works, and my car actually broke down in the middle of the road.
A
And,
busy road, by the way.
Oof.
I was a
know.
damsel in distress, and I was looking for any salvation.
Mhm.
And then, my knight in shining armor, although stinky, appeared on the horizon and saved me. And he and a couple of bystanders helped push me into the gas station parking lot.
Wow.
So
Yeah, so the other side of that is I'm just driving, right? And I come to this turn that's uphill, and there's a red car stopped with blinkers on, and I'm like, who's this idiot stopped
Yeah.
in the middle of the road?
What's
Like,
Yep.
if,
Dirk
if
doing?
something happened, get
Yeah.
off
at
the
least I
road,
can
right?
count, buddy.
Right?
Yeah. Yep.
But I'm sitting there, I'm like, who is this guy? And I'm like, wait a second, that kind of looks like Adam's car.
That's my boy.
And sure enough, I drive past him, and I say, I see it's Adam, and I pull into the gas station, come running out.
So
It was interesting. Yeah.
What ended up happening with your car then?
Well, I had AAA Rescue Rangers come and try to assist me.
Hell yeah.
They basically, pulled out their gizmos and gadgets and basically helped me determine that it was my alternator that went bad. So
I'll get you every
yeah,
time,
I had
man.
I had to get that ordered. So using a spare car
Mhm.
in the meantime, spare truck.
Just a little note on the alternator. I don't mean to be too big brain, okay? But normally, if your alternator goes out, you probably want to get your battery checked too, because they may be,
Sure.
kind of iffy there.
I'm definitely, I think he definitely also suggested get a new battery, so I'm probably gonna have to go.
Epic,
Do
dude.
that,
Hell
too.
yeah. That's some fun stuff right there. Losing an alternator, being on the side of the road, having Sean come out there, rescue ranger you, dude. That's like the day for me, man. Yeah, dude. So I recently, I've been looking into AMC, and I've been hectically, like every hour or so, just been frantically looking on AMC, see what it's at, because right now it's during it's having a short squeeze. So, man, it's tough. It's tough. When to sell, when to buy. Very, very
You
interesting.
in on that?
That's the thing. So all my friends are, and I'm the odd one out that just forgot to go on today at like 9 a.m. and buy some. So they're all probably going to be pretty wealthy after this, and I'm just going to be like, hey, let's go out. Let's just have some fun. You guys are paying, and I'm going to enjoy myself. So
Is it the AMC Entertainment stock? Is that the one?
no, it's American Masturbation Company, and what they
What's
do.
up with you and masturbation today? First it's
I don't know.
Tomb Raider, now it's
What?
American Masturbation
No.
Corporation.
No, American.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't know which movie company. I don't know what
Oh,
masturbation.
What is it?
Yeah.
You all. It seems like you're the one bringing up masturbation. It's very odd. Very odd.
No, I had heard you bring it up, and now I'm confused. But so it's AMC Entertainment, though.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. I think
Right,
everybody
okay.
listening to the podcast, when they hear AMC, their ears perk up, right? And they know exactly what that means. Unlike Rock Brain, Sean. So just saying. Not throwing shade, I'm just throwing rocks. So, getting into the first headline, story time's over. I know it's very sad for everybody who didn't get to say their story, didn't get to finish their story. But we have to talk about what funds this episode, and that is Amazon. So, if you like the recording equipment that we're using today, so if you like my mic, if you like my audio interface, if you like anything you see here, and there'll be a link there. So let's go ahead and look at that. So you can see our links here. Focusrite Scarlette. God, that's what I'm interested in. So let's click on that. Boom. We have the audio interface right here. So if you're interested in a really affordable audio interface, I can't recommend this. Focusrite Scarlette Solo. It's $119, and this is on discount too, so I highly recommend this one. Also, if you're interested in a Rode Podmic, this is a great dynamic microphone. It has all the ranges. It works very well with the Scarlette. So again, I highly recommend these two things as a great setup. So highly recommend that. So if you like this and you want to support the show, be sure to click the links out and let us know. So let's get right back into the show. We can finally get into our first headline. Have a deep discussion about this, because big Battlefield fans here. I don't want to speak for everybody, but I do want to speak for everybody and say everybody loves Battlefield. So, all right, moving into the first headline. What do you guys think about Battlefield 6 and E3? I know we talked about it earlier, but anything you like, I can read the headline too. So Phoenix, or Sean, I should say,
Yeah.
Are you excited for this?
Very, very excited. There's like a lot of things though that go into it. Is are they gonna have private servers? Because I like playing with a lot of my friends on a private server and like doing our own kind of battle. I enjoy when they do that, but also like, how is the multiplayer gonna be? Battlefield 1 cinematically was cool, but to play it for me, and I know there's gonna be a lot of people that disagree with this, I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy the mechanics. I didn't enjoy how it felt. Battlefield 5 felt like a refined version of Battlefield 1, and it was even more cinematic, and I did really enjoy it, but they got to this point where they had released all the maps, and then they would kind of trickle in content. But the way that they would trickle in content was so dispersed that you would lose your drive to continue playing the game because you had either A, unlocked everything, or B, you had experienced the majority of what the game had to experience. Battlefield is big on these battlefield moments thing, right? Like, what's a battlefield moment? And then they show you like this video of some guy jumping off of a skyscraper and pulling a parachute and shooting on his way down and killing a bunch of people. That's wild. That's insane, right? It's like something out of a movie that you would see. That is the Battlefield experience for me, is when you're with a squad, you're with your friends, you're running down, you got explosions happening everywhere, people are falling out, and it's a ton of fun, So I just hope that they make this next Battlefield immersive, modern, and also it needs something new.
Immersive, modern, needs something new. That's pretty good. I like that. That's a good like GameSpot article. It's immersive, it's modern, and it's something new. It's Skyrim with guns.
What's the mechanic they have with the buildings that fall apart? Levolution, that's what they call it.
Levolution. Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what new Levolution they bring to the table.
Okay, the first one to speak right now gets to talk next. Adam West.
Big explosions are great.
Hey, there we go. All right,
That's all
Adam.
you need to know, though.
Yeah.
As soon as Sean said Battlefield moment, I completely agree with that. I remember, I can't remember the name of the map, but back in Battlefield 4, I think, yeah, the map where it had the towering building with the hotel, and you could eventually destroy that.
Siege of Shanghai.
Siege of Shanghai. There you go. Thank you, Sean. And, I think having more unique map elements like that and, having more memorable gameplay experiences, especially, I think going back to the modern day setting, if that's true, is going to be, I think that's the right move.
For sure.
Just excited.
Getting into the headline, let me read a bit from here. So, Battlefield 6, again, we don't know the actual name. Some speculating it could just be Battlefield, as their Twitter is kind of suggesting, which is kind of interesting. It's going to be announced on June 9th. So, again, that's 8 days from now. They said it would announce the new Battlefield game in June. So, again, it's not really that surprise. EA is not participating in E3. So that's also interesting as well. Wes, what do you think about EA not participating in E3?
I'm not too surprised.
Not too surprised.
Honestly,
Did they do it
doesn't
last
seem
time?
like they have too much going on. I think they did. That seems right.
Right.
2
Yeah.
years ago.
Either way, EA is really weird when it comes to like what the hell they're doing, because sometimes it makes clear sense.
Like they're like bringing down a lot of their operations and making entire studios just focus on like one game and like keeping an online game surviving.
I feel like at this point, after the Battlefield 5 launch, the rough Battlefield 4 multiplayer launch, I feel like if they didn't have that, they're kind of just shooting themselves in the foot. So they definitely need to make this one good. If not, I feel like a lot of people are going to leave, like a lot of people left during Battlefield 5. I think this is the make it or break it for Battlefield 6.
You're ready to be impressed. I'm willing to be impressed, but please impress me.
Yeah. Definitely, after the reveal too, the article goes on to say the EA Play Live 2021 is going to be in late July, so I'm sure we'll get a lot more on Battlefield 6 then. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
as these big gaming companies get bigger and they swallow up more development studios, you're gonna see their own conferences way more. The Xbox and Bethesda, going to E3, I think Xbox has this kind of like little thing where like all gamers unite, let's all get along. That's all I ever see on their Twitter is like, which one's better, PS5 or Xbox? Ah, forget that. We're all friends here. I think that
Maybe
them
because
going
the
to the
Xbox doesn't have
E3,
anything going on.
right? Yeah, well, they're going to the
Ooh.
E3. That's a burn. That's a burn.
There's a
Watch it
burn.
there. They got Halo Infinite coming out. That's big. That's huge.
Eventually,
Never know.
sometime. It was
Eventually.
totally ready for the launch of the console, right?
I really hope. I really hope that's not garbage. But we'll talk about that maybe next week.
For sure. So, again, one final word. This is the final point that each of us can say on this subject. We can never talk about it again for the rest of our lives, okay? One word, okay, starting with Adam. One word about Battlefield 6. What do you think about it? What do you think? One word. Make it impactful.
shoot,
You say shoot?
shoot.
Nice. I love that word. This is a great one word to say. If I could summarize it, it'd probably be shoot too. So, Sean, what about you? One word.
Boom.
Whoa, dude. I wasn't even thinking about that. I was like, I'm going to have to switch now. That's my word. Boom. Wes.
Flamethrowers. Bring
Flamethrowers.
back the flamethrowers.
Hey, that's actually
I will
more.
be
Hey,
interested.
hey. That's more than one word. I'll let it slide this time, though. I'll let it slide. Sean, is it okay if we let this one slide?
Well, I'd actually like to offer a replacement word for
Okay,
Wes.
replacement word.
Replacement. Huh?
Gonna have to run that by us one more time.
Yeah, can we hear that one more time?
Is a little less excited.
Okay. All right. I figured it wasn't a good joke, anyways, from your whole face and you being there.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
my final word is
This guy.
this guy. That's my final word.
You
This
are
guy.
the joke.
This
There you
guy.
go.
Yeah. Oh, come on, dude. Don't kick a man while he's down. Okay. Rule 1: don't kick a man while he's down. Getting into the next headline, we have the Unreal Engine 5. We've all seen the pictures, the video. What do you feel about it, Adam? Do you like the Unreal Engine 5? Do you think it's better?
I mean, of course. Like, I mean, I think any advancement, in gaming technology, taking graphics to the next level, like, yeah, I love to see it, and I think, the more we keep advancing it and see it in more areas,
For sure,
yeah,
sure.
all
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah. Wes, what about you?
Some of what is being presented in the Unreal 5 trailer is photorealistic. Like, is that ridiculous to say? Like, it looks like somebody just took a video. So I'm extremely excited to see what developers will be able to do with this. I mean, Unreal Engines are usually workhorses. Like, everybody uses them. So I'm sure it'll be widely implemented throughout the industry. And
I want to see a VR game with Unreal Engine.
Dude, I didn't think about the VR. That
ooh,
would be kind of insane. That would be
Probably hard
Unreal.
to run on a headset.
Probably, but
well, that's why
running-
you get the kind that need a
Run that.
computer, not
Exactly.
a Facebook headset, whatever they're
Right.
called.
Right. So, reading from the article, it shows that, so they recently showcased it. They announced that the next generation game development tool suite is now available in early access ahead of its planned public release in early 2022. So that's actually really, really important. So the developers for these games, they can make, they can kind of get used to it ahead of schedule, which maybe that would be some timelines of some games ahead of schedule, which would be great. Epic showed off the capabilities of the new engine with a thoroughly impressed tech demo. That's what we're watching now. So again, the tech demo actually shows the game Valley of the Ancient. So is this a new game? What?
No, no.
Oh, it's
So
just a okay, just a tech demo.
Great.
Oh, it
Demo, yeah.
is.
Is it?
Um, yeah. Later in the article, they actually go on to say the one of the lead developers of Unreal Engine says that it's actually going to be available on consoles. It will be a
Oh,
playable
wow.
game, and
really,
yeah. Um, unfortunately, I think there's definitely still have some work to do on it because it says for those that do have the new consoles, you're going to be running at a whopping 30 FPS
ooh,
with the demo. So,
that's rough.
Oh,
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
that
it's
kind
hard
of
to take
shifts.
that hit.
That kind of shifts my view on it because I mean, how difficult is it going to be to run these? That's cool that they're putting out these powerfully graphical games, but like,
hmm
am I gonna be able to run it? So and also, maybe not at ultra, but are these environments gonna load in smoothly? Something that they show in the showcase that had me worried was, um, as your character moves through this environment, the environment slowly kind of loads in, just in front of you and just behind your character. Some of you who may have played GTA 5, which I feel like is most people at this point, if you're like flying a plane or something, you're going really fast. Sometimes like trees will load in front of you and then you blow up, right?
Yeah, the
So
pop
like
in is bad.
that's what they were showing in this showcase is that the environment loads in just before and just after your character. My question is how quickly can my character go before my environment won't load quick enough? So that's one thing I'm a little concerned about, when it comes to that demo. The other cool thing that I did see though is the animations and the models. They have like intelligent prediction for where like your created model should land. So if it goes to mount over an object, it creates this path, for your model to go. Now, at the end of the showcase, you see this giant. He was called like the Ancient One or something like I forgot the name, but he's a big dude with a big red dome head, and he looks really cool in the showcase. And he shoots lasers out of his hand and stuff. But this college group built the model and then they just put it into the game, and the game engine itself told the model where to move his arm, where to shoot it. So all they did was make a 3D model, and then the in-game, the Unreal Engine
hmm
created this actual
Whoa.
in-game mechanic where it senses where the player is and where the model should shoot. So
huh.
all of that like built-in prediction and stuff will make creating games for these creative people way easier. So I'm excited to see what comes out of it, but I'm also a little worried, just as to how it's going to operate and work, especially with load times and everything.
Yeah, just watching the playback on GameSpot, um, that character is actually kind of insane. Of how, like you were talking about, how they don't have to do as much work when they're creating that character and doing this animation and stuff.
Right.
I mean, it looks good from the demo. I don't know how much they spent on it compared to how much they'd spend on it beforehand. Did they talk about that?
I'm not sure that I saw that,
Right.
but
Yeah, I
I
doubt they
mean,
would release those numbers already.
yeah, I
Uh,
would assume that the time, because my understanding of the Unreal Engine 5 is that I don't know what access most developers have to. I'd assume it's like a basic level so they can start like playing with it and giving their feedback to the company. But um, yeah, I don't think we'll see those numbers just yet, but I think it'll definitely improve the amount of time it takes for them to do something just because that's built in now. So I don't know
yeah,
how long that's been built in, but from what I was seeing, it's at least been improved upon significantly.
for sure, for sure. All right. So, again, we're this time. Let's make it interesting. Adam, what is going to be our prompt for our final statements? Is it going to be one word? Is it going to be three words rhyming? What do you think? What's going to be our prompt?
Our prompt is going to be yeah,
We
let's go with rhyming. I like that.
rhyming.
I
Okay.
think
Okay.
yeah, you have to rhyme with Unreal Engine.
Oh,
Okay.
that's hard.
All right. Who do you want to start? Who do you want to start?
We're gonna toss it to Sean.
Oh
Oh, poopy
no!
head. The poopy head himself.
I skipped to Caleb.
Oh my God. Okay,
Zuno?
so Unreal Poopy. Okay,
There you go.
Wes, what do you think?
What
What's
a
your
great-
what's
good
your
rhyme.
what's your final run?
Um,
Do, do, do.
yeah, my brain can't work. I don't know.
Brain
I don't
can't
have
work.
one
That
for
that
this.
rhymes. Brain
Yeah, that
can't
word
work.
rhymes work.
I think
Yeah.
that's alliteration. So and then finally you skipped me, but we can go back to Sean. What's your final thought, Sean?
Unreal Engine will take us to the next dimension.
There you go.
See, I'm glad it was worth the
You know what
wait.
I was thinking of?
What's that?
Unreal Engine. I got oatmeal raisin.
Dude,
Unreal Engine.
they're the same thing.
He's got something to mention.
Nice.
That I don't know about that one. I like the first one. I like Adams,
Oh.
but that one maybe like in terms of we're all
Nice try, Sean.
tiering how our final prompts were. I'm gonna say that one was kind of that's my final. Oh no, he's bringing out the tears again, guys. That means we have to switch to the next topic. We're talking about the GeForce 3080 Ti and the 3070 Ti pricing and the release dates. So, starting us out, Wes, what do you think about this?
Oh, please, please give me one, someone. If you can find one for the prices that they're releasing them at, 600, 1200, do it.
For sure, for
That's
sure.
how I feel about that.
Yeah, I know you were talking about that earlier. It's just so the difference between the Ti and the base. What's those difference? What's the difference in that? Is the Ti's better than the base?
No, I think they're all this article talks about is the TI versions. The difference is the 3080 Ti is set to launch on June 3rd, and the price is $1,199, while the 3070 is available on June 10th, a little bit later for
Right.
$600.
Yeah.
I think that it's going to be similar to what we're going to talk about a little later with the Xboxes and the PS5s being hard to get. I think that these will also too be hard to get.
For
Yeah.
sure, for sure. Yeah, you were
Yeah,
talking about. Hey, sorry, did I interrupt somebody? What the hell?
Sorry, we just started talking at the same time.
Dude, I
We're
think
just in sync like
we're in the
that.
same plane of thought. We're in the same dimension, and that's what rhymes with Unreal Engine, as we know. So, Adam, what do you think?
I was just gonna say that to answer your question earlier, the TIs, I think they are supposed to be the better version. They're supposed to have like better memory, and it says that as a comparison, the 3080 Ti is that's gonna be on par or supposed to be rivaling your top of the line like 390s, which we all know is like that's the best of the best right now.
Right.
So so considering that, like Wesley said, I don't think you're going to be able to find them for a good long while
If you
at
can
a
find
reasonable
one,
price.
send
Do you
me
guys-
one.
Do you guys think it's going to be like the Xboxes and the PlayStation 5s? I mean, it could. There's some, parallels to that, I guess, at either scalpers or
There are
the chip
shortages
Yeah.
throughout every industry right
Everything,
now
dude.
because there's
Yeah.
only a couple factories in the world. They don't want to build anymore because nobody wants to get
Superconductors.
caught holding the bag.
No.
Yeah. That's one of the things is like, since everything relies on so much on technology and these superconductors, it's so hard to manufacture them fast enough to meet the demand. Which before, like last year, all these automakers, all these businesses that had to shut down, they lost that demand, and the only thing to fill that demand was all these new tech companies, whether it's AMD, whether it's all these other tech companies that I can't think of right now. What's another tech company? It's a really
Intel?
tough subject. Intel. Hey, there we go.
Samsung?
That's such a hard one to think about. Any other thing besides AMD? I guess I'm AMD brain right now. But they had to kind of fill the gap, and now these automakers and everybody else who relies on superconductor, which is basically
Everyone.
every other industry is kind of
Refrigerators,
left
everyone.
without anything. So.
The other thing to consider with these new cards is obviously the other thing that's hot right now is cryptocurrency mining. So I think you'll see a lot of these cards just disappearing and
That's been a huge
Yeah.
issue.
going to that.
Continuously
You
since
know,
Bitcoin mining started.
yeah, the article kind of hints that like despite Nvidia trying to reduce how other cards can mine, it's still gonna be something that's gonna happen.
Yeah, I know
So,
once the 3070 came out and people were actually using it, at the time you could make like $17 a day just off straight mining Ethereum. So I know that was, and again, maybe since the dip of crypto, maybe people are mining less. I don't know if that's going to factor into it, but we can move into our final words for the 3090, the 3080 Ti and the 3070 Ti. This time, I'm going to let Wes pick the prompt. Wes, you always come up with the best prompts besides every other one besides we did this one. So what is your prompt for today, for our final prompt?
What amount of money would you actually be willing to spend on a 3070 Ti?
Interesting. So I would spend $10 because I have a 3070. It'd be kind of like, meh. What about
Good point.
yeah? What about you, Sean?
Well, they're going for like 600, right? So I said that I was gonna wait a little bit further down the line until it drops. Ideally, I'll pay around 350, 400. So
I'm sorry, I couldn't see you because I'm kind of
How long you
squinting.
waiting?
I'm kind of squinting to see you right now.
I don't know. I mean, I think that it would drop
There
to
we
like
go.
four or 500 within like the next year or something. but
No.
I hope.
No.
It's gonna be the
That
same
is
price for a while.
beyond
Really?
wishful
Yeah,
thinking.
I think
Nothing
from a
is
year from
dropping
now,
in the
it's still
next
gonna be the
year.
same price. Yep, year from now, it's still the same
Ooh,
price. And that's if you're
probably.
lucky. We're gonna have this shortage for a
Well,
long time.
with how hard it is to get everything, yeah, I feel like back in the day, it was easier to say something like that. Like something comes out and then just like a year later, the S version comes out. I guess with phones, that's a bigger comparison. But yeah,
I
I
think
don't know. We'll
The
see. I
phones
guess
are
500.
part of the
but-
reason why we're in this mess in the first place because
Yeah.
everybody needs a new phone every year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, one word. Okay, this is gonna end it off. This is gonna be the last word spoken on this subject. Adam, you're gonna have the chance to say the last word. Okay, in this case, it's gonna be a number. So say one number.
one number.
There we go. We got it. He got one number. That's how much he's willing to spend.
Wow.
He's willing to spend one number amount of money
Same.
on the 3070 Ti. Epic, dude. That was cool. So, the next headline we got is the Xbox and PlayStation 5, but I think we have something interesting. I'm kind of hungry. Adam, you're kind of hungry. It looks like. I mean, you got glasses, so it looks like you're hungry. Wes, you're kind of hungry. I know Sean's not hungry. Look at him. So getting into it, we have a special tier list for. We have a special.
Hey, come on.
What?
What was that?
I was just saying we're all hungry here. Everybody's hungry, and
All
we
right,
can
guys.
move on
So,
to the team.
unfortunately, we're gonna be losing one of our co-hosts next
Oh,
week.
no.
Caleb.
Sean,
He's gonna be
really?
out for his sickness.
Why are you sick, Sean?
But no. Caleb.
All right, getting into the tier list. I'm going to be saying the names. Everybody knows all the names I'm going to be saying. I'm going to kind of keep it to what is just, I'm not going to be talking about
To borrow.
Roy Rogers. I'm not going to be talking about Roy Rogers today. If anybody knows those. Sorry for all the Roy Rogers fans, but we're just going to be doing the main ones, and it's going to be pretty quick, okay? So kind of keep it to one letter, and it's going to be very intense. This is, again, if you disagree with any of the fast food choices that we're making today, you're wrong, okay? Here's your brain
I
if
feel
you
like
think
we're
that.
going to be disagreeing a lot though
No,
with each other.
Again, that's what's going to make this great, and that's why it's going to be the definitive list, okay?
Oh,
This is
okay.
your brain.
Man,
This
that's
is
the
your
truth.
This is your brain if you don't think like us, right? Here's your brain if you think like us, okay?
Big.
This is your brain normal. This is your brain on marijuana. You have no brain.
That was a good joke.
Remember those commercials? They're like,
I
oh my
remember
gosh,
that,
like,
and I'm glad you
like
brought that up because now we can talk about AMW. If anybody ate AMW, what do you think?
Oh,
What's our
that's F tier. F tier.
F
I would
tier?
say D, and only because of the root beer floats.
D,
The
only
food is
D. What about you,
trash.
Sean?
I'm with D just because of the root beer floats.
I agree.
And they had the fries that you could, the like cheese covered fries or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not even doing that. Literally, like, hit the drive-through root beer float, and I'm gone.
Stick to your
Yep.
root beer A&W.
For sure.
You got no business being
Keep
here.
your AMW and take the D. That's what I gotta say.
But
AMW.
guys, what about the Long John Silver's and AMW
No, that's
collaboration?
No,
we're
we're not
talking
talking
about.
about that. Okay.
Yeah.
I refuse.
A little
We
taste
had
of
one of
fish in
those.
your root
Mega
beer.
We
Yum
had one of those.
Corporation shit.
Yeah, we had one of those. It
Hydro.
didn't
Sorry,
go
go
well.
ahead.
No, I'm gonna
yeah, I
interrupt
was-
you. You're gonna interrupt me. That's how this works. Okay.
I was gonna say I drove past one of those every day I worked, a couple years ago, and I'll tell you something. I never once thought I want to go in there.
Yeah.
And
Not once.
And that's all
Yep.
I have to say. on
Yep,
that
That's
subject.
fair. That's a
Yep.
fair assessment of A&W.
So wrapping up, we have a solid, definitive D for AMW. And again, if you
Yeah.
disagree with us, you're just completely wrong, and I'm not even going to talk to you. You should probably just leave the stream. You should probably just get off here, get off YouTube, everything. So next up, we have Arby's. I know Arby's is very controversial. A lot of people love it, and a lot of people hate it. So what do we all think? What's our consensus here? Where are we putting Arby's?
A tier.
A tier.
Whoa.
Oh.
A tier.
I'm
And
glad
I'll-
somebody
A
else
tier
likes
as well.
Arby's.
I'll have some stuff to back it up.
Okay.
I'll
Yeah.
say I like Arby's a lot, and I was not expecting y'all to say you like Arby's, but I'd
Yeah.
still put it at B.
B tier. Okay. Adam.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say A tier as well.
Okay. All right. So I'm with Wes on B tier. You guys are A tier, so you guys have to sway us to going into A tier, or we have to sway you to go into B tier.
Okay, well
Um,
here, let me start with my swaying ability by first asking you the first question.
Okay.
Have you had their curly fries with they're called like loaded curly fries? Have you had those?
Yes, I have.
You have
Yes, I
with
have.
like the cheese
With
and
the
everything on top.
horseradish. Blech.
Yeah,
No,
that's
no. There's no horseradish on them. No, sir. No, you guys got the wrong thing. There's something wrong with you guys. They're just the loaded curly fries. They do
Okay.
not have
You're not
horseradish.
convincing me.
yeah.
Okay, well they are way better than whatever
Sorry.
horseradish thing you're thinking.
Yeah,
of.
I had horseradish on mine. It was not good.
Also, like the little sliders.
Here, I'll try a different pitch. 'cause
Okay,
Sean
let's hear it
obviously
out.
failed.
He bailed. That was
So-
bad.
You failed.
I give you F.
You're a Nike.
No,
F.
for a fact, the selection at Arby's is top tier. You can go, you can get floats, you can get all kinds of desserts, you can
Mhm.
get wraps, you can get sandwiches, roast
Ooh,
beef
the
sandwiches.
gyros. Ooh, the
All right.
gyros.
The Euros,
Gyro?
yes.
Yeah, the Euros.
Yes.
They got, and they just recently added a spicy Greek gyro, and
Yeah.
that
All right,
shit is
I'll-
fire.
You're adamant. I'll give it to you. A
Yeah.
tier. Fine.
I will say, if it wasn't for the Euros, I would be sticking with B. But
And
I
curly
love the
fries.
This
Euros.
is driving me insane.
I think the Euros is like probably one of the
This
best
is
fast
not
food
moving
things.
fast.
No,
This
all
is Hey.
I
not a
can
fast
think
tier
of
list.
is
It doesn't-
gyro, and you guys keep saying euro, and I know that that's how it's said, but like I just heard euro like 5 times.
I think Euro
I'm
idiot.
gonna cry.
Did that work?
Oh,
Year-
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
think-
almost.
You're a stinker. Ooh.
Okay, same joke but different. Okay,
A
that worked.
tier.
Okay,
Can we
so
also ask-
moving it over to A tier. Let's go ahead and do that.
Hmm.
A tier. Okay, next up. Again, we're not going to be able to do all these. We're going to be saving the next selection of them. Okay, we're going to do 5 today. We're going to save the rest of them for the next podcast. Okay.
Oh.
So we have Baja Fresh. Anybody go to Baja Fresh? Are we Baja Fresh people?
I've never been to
Never
Baja.
been.
They don't have
Never
me.
had.
one
Never
in the
had.
Highlands a long time ago. I ate there
Blimpie.
once.
Blimpie. Anybody had Blimpie? No. I'm gonna
Blimpie
assume
was fire, but it's
Are
dead
these
now.
like regional things that
some of them. Some are region. That's why we're going through this quick. I know we're all in the
Alright,
kind of same region. So Bojangles. I do know. But are we Bojangles people?
I've
I've had
never
Bojangles.
eaten at Bojangles. I know that's in Georgia, but
I guess
I've never.
I guess we never had it. I will say it's actually pretty good. So Burger King. We can all talk about Burger King. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I
so
worked at Burger King.
Ooh,
All
let's hear
right,
your
so we
let's hear your
have-
opinion then. Where do you put
it
Burger
was-
King?
It was a couple years ago. It was freshman in college. All things considered, especially after changes that made sense, C. I'd
A
say
C tier, a solid C.
Yeah.
Adam,
Yeah, I'd probably sit comfortably in the C tier.
C
like,
tier.
Yeah.
Okay. What about no camera, Sean? Where are you at?
I got my camera. Is it messing up? That's weird.
It just cuts out every once in a while. Think long and hard on this one.
I really want to say like
Whopper just ain't that good
I'm gonna say it.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna
I
say
ain't
it.
doing that.
D tier. And
D tier.
the
Okay.
only reason I want to say that is because there's only two things there that I'll even like consider buying.
Do you
And
get
it's
the
like
rodeo burger though?
Yeah, they got like the Bacon King or whatever. I'll mess with that, and then they got what's the other one? They got that new chicken sandwich that it actually isn't bad. So here,
Oh, I should try that.
here's the run. Here's everything you need to know about the Burger King chicken sandwich
I'm
compared to
listening.
like the other chicken sandwiches. The chicken itself, if the chicken was like Chick-fil-A chicken, and then
Yeah.
the breading, and then the breading was the Burger King breading
Okay.
with like a pretzel bun, yeah, you'd kill it. But like, it's like it's okay. It's okay if you're looking for a chicken sandwich. It's okay to pick up. But
King
If
has
it had
the
this burger,
Wire.
you can't
probably
do
just go
that.
with Popeyes.
Is it getting close to Popeye's spicy chicken sandwich? That's the question.
The breading, it has a little less breading, but it's closer to Popeyes than anything else.
But
Okay.
like, is it tasty like Popeyes?
It doesn't
is what I'm
taste
asking
bad,
you.
but like Popeyes tastes better. I mean, it's just like just their
So,
chicken sandwich is better.
are we thinking C? Are we thinking D?
Yeah, see.
I'll
I
settle
think
with
C.
C
Yeah.
for the argument's sake, but yeah.
I say C because every time I had there, I wasn't super disappointed, and that's kind of like with fast food. But I think Burger King's one of those things like, okay, you see it, you're hungry, might as well stop by, might as well get one of those little chicken nugget things or wherever you guys
Yeah.
get.
Nobody wakes up in the morning
No.
and they're like, "Fuck yeah, I can't believe to go to Burger
Dude,
King."
Burger
But
King time,
You drive
dude.
past one and you're like, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. So, that wraps it up for our tier list. Again, this is the definitive tier list, and we're actually getting low on time, so we have to do a speed run. Are you guys ready for the speed run of the last headlines? Okay. So, moving on into the headlines. Here we go. So we got scalpers aren't the main reasons you can't find a new console. So again, we're talking about the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series S and X. We're running the numbers, and what did we find? What did we find that, what's the reason why scalpers aren't the main reason you can't find a new console?
Well, there's a chip shortage, as Wesley was talking about,
Hmm.
and that seems to be both, a contributing factor to it, but also a main reason. So, essentially, the companies projected, right,
Mhm.
a certain number of people that they would need to sell to per set amount
Right.
of time. They undershot that number by a ridiculous amount because the people who want a PS5 and it hurts me to say this because I'm a little bit of an Xbox fanboy, but
Give me that.
there's a majority of people who want a PS5. Like they're just really trying to get their hands on it, and they
Mhm.
undershot that number, and they can't put the chips out. So you're getting like a bottleneck of where the companies have the devices, they're ready, they need to put the chips in, finish them, and then get them out, but they can't finish them and get them out because there's no chips. Also, so on top of the chip shortage, which could also be brought in by crypto, you also have the scalpers, and it's still an issue, don't get me wrong, because when they're
Oh,
sent
yeah,
out to
fantastic.
retailers,
Mhm.
they're picked up right away by the scalpers. So that's that end of the problem, why normal customers can't get it. But the
Okay.
reason why there's not a ton of them and they're just not out selling over the scalpers is because there's a shortage on the chips.
Yeah, super cool. So, again, we're speed running. I think Sean said the majority of it. However, I will give you guys 5 words. So, Wes, you have 5 words, and Adam, you have 5 words. Okay, make sure you count this
Like
out.
everyone's words.
I think 5 is less than 6. I may be wrong on that. So, Wes, 5 words on the PlayStation 5 Xbox One X. What do you think? Series X.
Me, a PS5, please.
Oh, okay. That's pretty good. Adam?
It's not worth the effort.
It's not worth the... Dude, you had that
Yeah.
one ready. You didn't even have to think
Yeah.
about that. That was pretty epic. Okay, so again, we have to hurry. We have to keep this quick. Okay, we have to move on to the next one, which is our secret headline.
Ooh, secret headline. Hang on, I'd like to start this for anyone who can actually see the
Oh.
video. Caleb, as if you want to read the headline now, that would be great.
Yeah, no problem. I will read the headline right now. Frontier boss David Braben issues public apology for Elite Dangerous Odyssey woes. Whoa, dude.
Wow.
So I know there's one poopy in here that knows a lot, but I want to hear from the two poopies that don't know a lot. So, Adam, what's your experience with Elite Dangerous, and what do you think of Odyssey?
So I've played Elite Dangerous a little bit. You know, I've delved into it, and it's obviously such a huge game for anyone who knows about it. I mean, it's basically a one-to-one scale of the galaxy that you play, and you can fly in space. I mean, it's pretty massive. And then, you know, whenever I heard about Odyssey, the expansion where you can finally walk around on planets and stuff, and, you know, first person shoot guns at people,
Mhm.
I was really excited. And so to hear this, you know, that they finally implemented this after it's been out for so long and it's not going over well, it's a little sad, but, you know.
Right. I think it's inevitable, right? If you make a mistake, you kind of have to run this whole PR thing. So, Wes, what do you think about Elite Dangerous and the new Elite Dangerous Odyssey and Braben's comments?
I mean, I've always been vaguely aware of the existence of Elite Dangerous,
Right.
but I've actually never tried it just because I know it's so overwhelming. Like Eve,
It's a lot.
like it's just a massive time investment. But actually, that new update looks interesting. It almost looks like Mass Effect, like from that point of view. But hopefully, they can fix it.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah.
My question was like, why, if they knew that it's going to have these problems? I know it takes a lot to beta test these things, and it takes a lot to trial and error on this massive scale, right? I just feel like they could have just waited. Like they saw Cyberpunk, like Cyberpunk didn't get the weight that it needed, and Odyssey, I think they could have just pushed it a month or so and got most of these fixes. But Sean, I know you're the resident expert. This is the secret person that knows so much about Elite Dangerous, too much actually. So Sean, what do you think about this?
You have to keep me on a timer or something, cut me off. At some
Okay,
point,
you
but-
have 1 minute.
Okay, 1 minute. Wow. Okay.
59. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna go down all seconds. Go ahead.
Well, so with Odyssey and it dropping, you know, they had kind of overly optimistic release date for this game, and then kind of COVID hit, and it, you know, made that time frame even worse. So whereas this DLC was supposed to drop at the end of last summer, it's coming out now in this summer, or sorry, last December, my bad, and now it's coming out this summer. So it's already been pushed back. So, you know, that's probably part of the reason why they brought it out so early. Now, they did have an alpha, and the alpha had a lot of issues, but they got a decent amount of the bugs out. But once they connected everyone's main accounts to everything else, they have a new game engine in a way. So, like, the planets that load in and how they're created in the Milky Way galaxy, which you get to fly around in, they're not generating correctly. Some of them aren't having the one of the new additions from Odyssey, besides being on your foot and stuff like that, is there's atmospheres on some of the planets, or partial atmospheres. So you get planets that you land on, and instead of looking up and it's just the black sky, it's now purple, yellow, green, orange, depending on what type of gas or atmospheric composition it has. So some of those aspects aren't working, and I am someone who I bought Odyssey and was part of the alpha, but I'm kind of doing this thing right now where I'm a huge fan of it, but I don't want to play it until it's like what they envisioned. In the article, David Braben comes out and he apologizes. He was the original creator of this game. And keep in mind, Elite Dangerous has been around for a very long time, I believe since the 80s. And it was just basically like a wireframe art game. Like, you know, you just see lines on your screen and that's supposed to be you're in space. And now it's this huge, you know, has this huge expansion. So I know I'm running out of time, but check out Elite Dangerous if you haven't yet. And the other side of it is hopefully they'll be able to fix it.
Time out. Time out. All right. So we've all heard Sean and his elaborate talk of Elite Dangerous, but we get to say one final word to wrap up the whole stream. Again, thank you guys for watching. This is the podcast without a title right now. And so again, to send us off with one final word, go ahead. Let's let Sean go, and we'll end with our little special person. So go ahead, Sean.
One word.
One word.
I actually would like to pass this to our guest, Adam. Would you like to say one word?
Okay, Adam, go ahead. One word. Summarizing the Odyssey and summarizing your experience here and summarizing your entire life into one word.
Oh.
Think about it really hard.
Thanks.
Hey.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for me being here.
No problem, man. No problem. We'll love to have you again.
Thank you.
If you bop on again. Now, final word from Wes. Everybody says Wes is the favorite. Everybody loves Wes. Everybody besides Sean.
Oh, that's not true.
Yeah. So Wes, what is your final word to end us off? One final word. Again. It's a tough one, I know.
Tarnation?
Dude, I agree.
Tarnation?
I agree. And then, Sean, you skipped it. We're not gonna miss you. What's your final word, Sean?
Safe.
Safe.
Everyone have a safe week.
Okay. And then my final word is thank you guys for watching, and that's the end of the stream.
That's more than one.
Bye. No.
Bye, guys.